Hi, I'm Joseph Uguso, your government teacher on this platform. Our topic today is the role of chief in indirect rule system. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the term role, list the role of chief in indirect rule system, and of course discuss the role of chief in indirect rule system. In our previous lesson, we had explained the meaning of indirect rule, and of course we discussed the various reasons for introducing the policy of indirect rule by the British colonial government. That lesson had already been uploaded to your school portal. Have access to it and do the right thing. The term role in the context of this topic would mean importance. In other words, we are trying to examine the importance or the great parts that the chief played in ensuring the success of the policy of indirect rule. On the screen there, we have listed the various roles that the local chief played in the success to ensure the success of the policy. Number one, as you can see on the screen there, they serve as a link between the colonial government and the local people. They serve as a link between the colonial government and the local people. They also ensured the preservation of traditional political institutions. All right, we have listed them here. They are there on the screen for you. Make sure you read them carefully, and then if you have any issue, we'll meet on the social media to discuss. They are being displayed on the screen there for you. Please make sure you take time to read them. All right, let's briefly discuss what we have listed. Let's discuss them briefly. We have argued that the local chief served as a link between the colonial government and the local people. That means they served as middlemen. I hope you know who is a middleman. So they serve as middlemen between the government and the people. For example, the local chief would get instructions and orders from the government, from the colonial government, and then they'll pass them to the local people. On the other hand, the local people will express their grievances, their complaints, and every other actions concerning their well-being. And then the same complaint, grievances, and their reactions will also be passed to the government through the local chiefs. So that's why it is argued that they serve as a link between the government and the people. Their involvement in the process of governance, helps to preserve the political institution. They were found necessary, by the colonial government, and then they were used, used in the process of ensuring that the objective of the indirect rule was achieved. So in so doing, they helped in preserving our traditional institutions. The white men didn't say, let us fill the entire place with white people. No, they had to rely on these local chiefs to achieve their purpose. So in doing that, the white men, see reason to retain the local traditional institutions. Another argument is that they help in the implementation of policies and decisions of the colonial government. They make sure that they interacted with the people, make sure that they gave proper instruction, proper marching order for the people to respect government decisions and policies. Another important role that the chiefs played was the help to legitimize the colonial government. They will remember they were dealing directly. They were dealing directly with the people. So they are dealing directly with the people, caused the local people to remain relaxed, and at the time, accepted the colonial government. So it was as though the local people, were so much, in line with the colonial government. So it was as if the colonial government was a legitimate government because of the role, the important role that the chiefs, played. One important role they also played was to ensure that the native authorities, use their good office to provide welfare packages, for the people. Because they were in control of native authorities that were established in different localities and closer to the people, they ensured that the welfare of the people became paramount in the process of governance. Another thing was that they helped in collection of taxes, organize labors, and then in providing social amenities, such like a health system, the rest of them, because they were closer to the people. So they make sure social amenities were actually provided for the people. They make sure that they collected taxes on behalf of the colonial government, and they make sure also they organize labors, to implement or to do what the local areas, needed at the time. All right. In conclusion, we have been talking about the role of chief in indirect rule system. We have explained the term role. We have also listed the different roles that the local chiefs played, and then we have briefly discussed them. There are questions being displayed for you there on the screen, so make sure those questions are answered accordingly. Go to the portal. This lesson has been uploaded to the portal. Go there, have good access to it, answer them, and then submit as usual. Thank you.